everybody laughed at me. And not for the usual reasons either, okay? Nobody believed me when I said my favorite video game character of all time, Joker, the protagonist of Persona 5, had a chance of getting in as a DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Johnny, nobody even knows who that character is!
We already have Cloud, we don't need more RPG characters. Joker's a Sony mascot, they never let him inside a Nintendo game.
I hate to be this guy, like, after the fact, but I told y'all, nobody believed me. Man, I saw this crap coming a mile away, and just to see it, like, live, and see that it's actually happening now, man. I'm lying. Nobody actually saw this coming. Not even me. Not even me, dude. Like, I'm probably, maybe, the biggest Persona fanboy that there is. And never in 100 years would I ever think that this character would ever appear in the same game as Mario. Like, what the heck? That's probably why he's in, but for those wondering, my initial reaction to the reveal went a little something like this. Can't believe it, dude. Persona 5 Arena. God dang, man. What? Words just simply aren't enough to describe how goddamn happy I am about this. Like, you guys don't understand. For years, the Persona series was this niche RPG series that no one ever really heard of. And now that Smash Ultimate has a collab with it, essentially, there are so many people that are getting into the series, and holy crud, I'm just so happy. Like, I just gotta state this right now. You guys don't understand, okay? I've been following Atlas, the company that produces the Persona games, for so many years now. They've escaped bankruptcy twice. And now their mascot basically is going to be in a Nintendo fighting game. Like, that's crazy. Like, if that's not a Cinderella story, I don't know what is, alright? But many people online have already echoed this sentiment, so I'm not really adding anything new here with this type of video, right? Wrong! I have been shilling this franchise for as long as I can goddamn remember, okay? I eat, sleep, and possibly fart the Persona series daily, so I might have a little bit of insight why this is such a big deal, and specifically why you should care. Okay, extremely long intro over now. This video will be broken into 3 different and easy to digest parts. Who is Joker? What is he going to play like? And lastly, why this is such a big deal. Starting off, let's go as simple and as slowly as we can, because the Persona series is a little difficult to explain if you've never experienced it. But Joker, or the protagonist, is the main hero of Persona 5, the 5th game in the series. The first game in the series was called Revelations Persona here in the West and came out in 1996. It was not very good. However, each game has an independent story roughly, even though they occur in the same universe. So no, you don't need to play Persona 2 to understand Persona 4, and vice versa. In P5, you play as a silent protagonist living in Shibuya, Tokyo, who is sent there after some misconduct. I don't want to give too much about the story away, because it's really goddamn good. But after a seemingly random sequence of events, aka fate, you awaken to your persona, Arsene, granting him new magic abilities and the power to fight against the shadows which are found in the metaverse. Naturally, I could go into a lot more detail, but I really don't want to, because the less you know about Persona 5 going into it, the more enjoyable it is in my opinion. So do yourself a favor, check it out if you have 100 hours to dedicate to an RPG. Chances are you don't, but hey, I have a video series you could check out instead, which abridges a lot of the fluff. Self-promotion, I know. I gotta pay bills too, dog, I'm just saying, but anyways, on to our next topic at hand. What is Joker going to play like in Smash Ultimate? This is something I've been thinking over and over and over and analyzing, like the game, just everything they could possibly do to implement into Smash Bros. For those who aren't aware, I'm actually a giant fan of Super Smash Bros. I'm very mediocre at the video games, but I've been playing them since I was a very, very small child, and holy crap, he's gonna be in Smash. He's gonna punch Mario, possibly in the face. Like, this is crazy, man. But back on topic. What are his moves going to be like? So in Persona 5, you fight not only with your, weapons that you bring into battle, but your persona, which is essentially a manifestation of your psyche. A lot of the terminology I'm going to be using here comes from Jungian psychology, and that could be a lecture in itself, and I don't got time for that. So all you need to know is he summons an imaginary man from his back. He also has a gun and a knife. A knife is really, really low range, I don't know how that's going to be incorporated into Smash Brothers. But the crazy thing about Joker is he can basically do anything. For those who aren't aware, in Persona 5 and all the Persona games, a big part of the franchise is fusing monsters together to create new monsters. In this game, you fuse Persona to create different Persona. So, Joker doesn't just have one persona. That's the thing about his character. He has something called the wild card where he can switch on the fly between all the different personas that he needs. Do I think they're gonna have the energy and funding to model all these different monsters at like Joker's disposal? I don't think so. I think he's just going to have Arsene because Joker is kind of unique in the sense that he comes from, yes, an RPG turn-based video game, but at the same time, this franchise also has a fighting game. Persona 4 Arena is a pretty solid fighting game, all things considered. I love it a lot, and it does something kind of cool. In this game, you have 4 buttons, okay? 2 of those buttons are your melee attacks, you know, your punches, you're attacking with a sword, and the other 2 buttons are for your Persona attacks. Persona attacks are usually a little bit more devastating, have a lot bigger range because Personas are huge, but there is a downside. If you actually hit the Persona with one of your attacks, you lose a Persona card. If you run out of Persona cards, they have to refill, and losing your Persona is very devastating. I really hope they carry this concept over into Smash Ultimate. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're going to. Assuming that they have Joker with his signature persona, Arsene, he's gonna be pretty crazy. Let's just talk about Arsene for a minute. He's a tall dude! Like, holy crud, he's also wearing heels and has this giant top hat. Like, holy crud, his model is going to be giant. However, at the same time, this presents a bit of an issue. If you give this character all these options and no counterplay, he's gonna be really overpowered, and that's gonna be a headache for everybody that's playing against Joker. So I could totally see Arsene going for this giant sweeping like kick thing, and then like a character interrupts it with an attack, and if that happens after a while, you know, Joker loses access to his persona for a bit. But this is all assuming they're actually going to include Joker plus his persona. But like, come on, it was in the trailer, it's the title of the game, like it's literally the biggest part of Persona. But at the same time, I think it would be a lot of programming. Like I said before, his design is he's a big dude, okay? Like, it would be a lot of graphical representation to be into this game, but you know, we'll see. At the same time though, Joker by himself is also very iconic and really cool. He has his gun and his knife. And the interesting thing about a knife is that we've never had a thief archetype character in Super Smash Bros. Before. You could say King K. Rool steals bananas, but that's not what I'm talking about, alright? So a thief character would be the epitome of a glass cannon. He does a lot of damage, but can't really take it back. And I can definitely see Joker being this type of character. His base stats in the beginning of the game really emphasize agility and dodging, rather than doing a lot of damage and soaking up a lot of damage. So a speedy character that's fast on his feet does a lot of damage, but is easily knocked off the stage. That could really work in Smash Brothers. And at the same time, we do have characters that sort of use a very low-range weapon. We have Young Link in Ultimate, who his range is just abysmal, but his special attacks and combo potential really make up for that. Robin also has his cruddy sword when he doesn't have the Levin sword out, which is sort of a similar length to a knife, but you know, we'll just see, I suppose. As far as his gun is concerned, that's definitely going to be a special move. In Persona 5, Joker's gun isn't actually a real gun. It's very difficult to explain if you've not played it, but basically, he only has so much ammo for it, and he doesn't really know how to reload it because he never had that type of training. He's basically just a make-believe thief for the time being. So what I could see them doing in Smash Ultimate is giving his pistol sort of the Falco treatment. He can't shoot it super fast, and eventually he would need to reload it, which would take some time. This would present even more counterplay because I'm trying really hard, if you can't tell, to not make my favorite character the most overpowered thing of all time. But I think they're gonna go down that route. Could you not see him using his gun? Like, that's literally like the biggest thing in Persona, other than the Personas. They use their guns all the time. As for his other special abilities, they could do literally anything, okay? You gotta understand that the Persona main characters have something called the wild card, which inherently makes them the most like versatile characters in fiction. They can absorb physical attacks, they can absorb fire attacks, they can repel everything if they so desire, or their personas are strong enough. Like, this guy could potentially do pretty much anything, but I've basically narrowed it down to a couple of finer choices. For his side special, I imagine if they have an Arsene character at all, he'll do some sort of like Aiga attack, which is essentially just this giant shadow blast. It looked pretty cool and definitely stand apart from the other like shadow attacks like Ganon stuff and Mewtwo, right? For his down special, it is true that Joker has a skill called High Counter. I really hope to God they don't put a counter attack into the game. That'd be really frustrating. We already have so many characters with counters, good God, but that's also an option. But realistically, Homie can do whatever the crud he wants. For his recovery, I think they do sort of like the flash step thing. He does a lot of crazy jumping moves in his respective game. Like seriously, Homie can parkour literally everywhere. So I see them doing that. Or he could summon Arsene and just like fly back onto the stage, but that's boring. I don't know. What is Joker gonna play like? I frankly have no idea, but I have some semblance of what his moveset could be like. I really hope they include his persona, Arsene, in the game, because it's a really iconic model, and I don't know. I think it presents a lot of cool options that we haven't yet seen in Smash. There is like a sub-series of fighting games where you have your fighting character, and then he has basically a JoJo stand. In fact, there's a JoJo fighting game. And this is sort of why I think they're going to have Arsene in the game, right? You have your characters that punch, you have your characters that shoot stuff like Samus, you have your sword characters, right? But Joker could be this new type of thing, where you just have this imaginary ghost behind you that punches people in the face. And that, I think, is inherently cool, and why I think Joker was a big candidate to get into Smash Ultimate, because his moveset is so unlike anything we've seen thus far. And for his final Smash, it's either going to be the all-out attack or the sinful shell. Those are just the most iconic things. In Persona 4 Arena, back to that, there are things called instant kills, and for the main character of Persona 4, he summoned his ultimate persona to do a devastating attack. So I could see them doing that with Joker, but at the same time, the all-out attack is really cool, and like, you use it so much in-game. Chances are, that's what its final Smash is gonna look like. And now on to our final topic. Why should the average person care about Joker? Well, first off, his game is so freaking stylish. Like, there's just no, like, you gotta admit, this game looks like, it doesn't look like anything else. There's nothing to even compare it to. Not even the prior Persona games look as cool as this game does. So Joker is going to introduce this new like style and flair that we've never seen out of any other fighter in Super Smash Bros. So that's something to be excited about. On top of that, holy crud, the stage potential here is insane. If you don't like Joker, okay, whatever. But like, there's just so much that they can pick from his game. So my biggest candidate is actually the casino, which is the first like location you visit in game. It's very iconic, it's very interesting, and there's just so much you could do with that stage that the options are nuts. Like that's my biggest pick. There's also the Bone Zone, which I'm not going to talk about for spoilers, but yes, there is a place not canonically called the Bone Zone, but all P5 fans know that place is the Bone Zone, all right? There's also mementos, the castle, there's just so much, there's so goddamn much that they could pull from. But on top of that, this opens up so many DLC options, right? But for your average guy that doesn't really care about Japanese role-playing games, for whatever reason, I understand it's not everybody's thing, what does this mean to you? Well, here's the thing. Now that we know that Joker, a character that, yes, is basically owned by Sega, got into Super Smash Bros., keep in mind, Persona still isn't like a household name, even in Japan. It's not that big. This means anybody can get into Ultimate. Your favorite still has a chance. Reggie has said that every single DLC fighter will be a must-own, so I think they're gonna go all out, because this might be the last Smash game for a very long time. But that is my #1 reason why I'm happy that Joker got in. And that's really my favorite part about this. Because Joker is in, anybody can be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that is really exciting for fans. Holy crud, I don't know how they're gonna top this, at least for me personally. Joker, he was not even in my like top 5, because I thought there was 0 chance of this character ever getting into Super Smash Bros. But I'm happy to be wrong. Holy crap, man. I guess I underestimated Sakurai's appreciation for menus. Look into that if you so desire. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this episode, guys. I just had to get my ideas and thoughts out there, as well as my initial, like, just what the crud, man, because this character just means so much to me personally, and to see him in a fighting game series that I have loved for so many years, and just been a lot of stuff, alright? But hopefully this video was at least somewhat entertaining and helpful to sort of speculate what Joker is going to play like. I wanted to bring up the Persona 4 Arena thing because that's something people really do not pay attention to, and no one's even brought that up yet, so I wanted to be like, you know, not the first, but maybe the second to introduce that idea to you guys. But yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it. Hope you guys are pumped. I've been playing Smash like crazy. That's why this video kind of took a little bit longer to get out than usual, but oh well. Thank you all so much for watching. I highly recommend you play the Persona series if this is your first introduction to it. I promise you will not regret it. It's a fantastic story, fantastic gameplay, and pretty much one of the best RPGs ever made, but I'm a little biased, so I guess I'll shut up. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, and yeah, see you later today with some more videos. Bye.
It's an ultimate!